Games, board games, board games. We might be talking about board games, but we're not gonna shout. We will talking about teaching too, and Bangkok, where's a place I'm going to? Board games and life and everything. We'll talk about that after I sing. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. It's 10 a.m. UK time, and today, time for Bessie Beats and Board Game Bladder as every day, and I'm getting to chat to Faranak Khanmohammadi. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, that's right. Hello, good morning in UK, good afternoon in Bangkok. I'm not sure if we have anyone here, any listeners from Bangkok, but here is 5 p.m. now.
And I thought we'd talk about just everything. I mean, are you a board gamer? Do you play? What was the last board game you played? Because this is a board game show, so I'm going to ask that one question straight
Yes.
away.
Yeah, now recently I'm so busy. I have lots of changes in my life, and I the last time that I played game was exactly 2 nights ago, but after 4 or 5 months. Uh,
Wow.
some friends came to our place and we played Ticket to Ride.
Okay.
That,
Was it
yeah.
the original one, the USA map with like the that? Have you played the shorter ones with Ticket to Ride London and Ticket to Ride New York, where it's a much smaller box and it takes about a quarter of the time?
No, I didn't play them. I just played the North American and Europe. But this
Okay.
one that we played was just America and Canada. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm sure we'll get a chance to talk more about that, but in as much detail as you're willing to share, you've already said, okay, you're in Bangkok right now, it's 5 p.m. What are some of your favorite things, and what would you like people to know about you?
Yeah, no. Uh, I'm a teacher for 4 years. I've been teaching from kindergarten to primary level, and now since 2 months ago, I've started working with secondary level students, and they are awesome. I always was scared of them because I was so naughty myself in secondary level, and I didn't want to work with this level, but they are awesome, really. They can, especially know none of our languages is English, but we communicate in English. And it's good that they come to us and try to speak with us, and they share their thoughts. It's good. I really love them. It's not only childish games that we play or songs that we need to sing with them. There
So you
are.
feel a little bit more stimulated these days. And is it English that you're teaching?
And now I teach social studies, but before I
Okay.
used to teach English. Yes, yes.
And this is in an American school, right? Or
No, it's Thai
because I'm
school,
just
but it's
wondering why is it all being taught in English in Bangkok?
yeah, it's kind of maybe it's only my opinion that it's kind of business here. Uh, Bilingual schools are very popular.
Hmm.
And yeah, there are different programs here for schools from international that are run completely by foreign countries. For example, American school follows exactly American curriculum, but this school is Thai school. They have it's bilingual. Whatever that they learn in Thai, they learn in English, and we're supposed to teach them the vocabulary mostly. They got the idea of everything, and now it's our time to say, introduce vocabulary to them that they've learned in Thai. It's
That
something like
sounds
this.
really interesting. And I'm really happy that you found something that you're able to throw yourself into properly, if you know what I mean. Like, it does sound like you're being really stimulated, and I'm so happy for you. Let's move
Yeah,
on
thank you.
to recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent
Wow.
highlights. So, what have you been up to over the past couple of days? Myself, yesterday, um, after making a new Kickstarter page, I asked people what they thought about it, and I have been really thinking about financial accessibility and perception of value. Like, if you put something at £1, even if it's a digital file, people maybe think, oh, why is this only £1? But I think that's because in the board game print and play space, we've accepted that £4, £5 is the price, and I think that's really good. I think, in retrospect, the fact that Matthew Dunstan and Rory Muldoon had such a big project for this amount, people understand that that's the price, even though they are getting only digital files. Whereas if you look at the App Store, you've got these games that have so much work put into them, but then people, as soon as it's a couple of pounds, people are like, oh, why is it that much? Why is it not 99 pence or 49 pence? So it's a really interesting difference where some people feel, I guess, also a little bit more of a connection with the creator, where they feel like, yeah, we would be willing to pay money. Also, I had a meeting with someone who's publishing a game that I designed back in 2016. Finally, it's been a long
Awesome.
time, but finally got to contract. It should be coming out next year. Last Bug Standing. And hello to
Yeah.
Panda Angel, who says, I just popped in to say hi. And Panda is from
Hi.
North America, saying, I'm going to bed now because it's 2 a.m. Have a good stream. Lots of love to you, and I hope you have a wonderful sleep.
Yeah. Have a good night.
But yes,
Mm.
that's the bulk of what I've been up to over the past day. What have you been up to over the past few days yourself, Faranak?
Yeah, these days I have different feelings. I want to speak about it. But about what you said, I wanted to add that, my opinion about it. It's awesome. Actually, I like it that you publish games quickly. Last time we spoke together, I had two finished games that I haven't published them on Kickstarter yet. And uh, maybe I just gave up and now I don't work on games anymore. No, my packs are in the shelves and I don't touch them anymore. But it's good. And now the last game that I saw from you was something about monster or thing. I'm sure that you've updated many games after that, but I know I backed there and Kickstarter, and I really like to play it once because I didn't buy the one. I thought shipping for me would be trouble here,
Hmm.
so I just backed it. And if there is any print and play version, I really like to play it with my students because we have a lot of free times that we can enjoy time together.
So yeah, for the Kickstarter that was last year, a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after some mixed
Last
noises.
year? No way, really?
It was just over a year ago that it was on Kickstarter. Is that the one you
Really?
mean?
I need to check it because I remember it. Yes.
Or do you mean the recent one that was a couple of months ago for a game about cute comical creatures and trying to identify them after some mixed noises?
Yes, yes, it was that one. Yes, I was
Okay,
thinking about
yes,
it.
yeah, that one. I'm going to hopefully get the art for that's been done, and the game about selecting 7 cards, speedily searching for synergies. I need to do some balancing, but yes, I'm hoping to get also all the letter shapes for categorical put together at the same time. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm hoping before I go away from London for Christmas, I'll get that done, and then I'll send it off. It'll get pre-produced and printed, fingers crossed, in like January, and then I'll start sending stuff out to everyone, starting from a game about uh, selecting seven cards, speedily searching for synergies, and then the next Kickstarter. And yeah, although it is going to be very busy next year with Nuremberg and everything, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'm really blessed that people are a little bit forgiving, and um, it's maybe a lack of self control, and I don't have people guiding me to say, no, focus on that thing, don't start this totally new thing anymore, Bez, this needs to be done. So, yeah, sometimes I have that issue. But yeah, when you comparing, I'm also blessed because I'm doing this full time. But you are doing other creative things. Like, I mean, recently you showed me this image that's like gorgeous, and I see so many things on your Instagram. Do you want to talk about your painting?
Yeah, these days, actually, I don't publish them on my Instagram now, but uh, I just work on typography, and I want to find my way in it, actually. Mm, I wanted to apply for university, but again, I gave up. I said, I need to uh, find out if it is the thing that I really want. Uh, but I enjoy working with lines and colors, and I discovered, I'm not sure if you can find some uh, words in it, but
Yes, I
your
see
name,
Bez
Bez.
and London,
Yeah,
and um, it's hard to see what's underneath London. It looks like something go. Uh,
Bangkok. It's the
Bangkok.
time, yes. It's 10 London and 17 Bangkok. Bez and Farah, under your name is Farah in green lines. Yeah,
Ah,
I
yes.
work on.
And it's really fascinating using the typography not as something, it reminds me of graffiti in a way, because the primary purpose isn't to communicate information to be, well, I guess it is to communicate information, but the style of it. The primary purpose isn't to be read as a simple word, as a string of text. The fact that it's ornamented even beyond the utility of being able to read everything super easily is part of what makes it interesting and wonderful. Do
Oh,
you know what I
thank you.
mean?
Actually, I try to not be obvious. No, I used to be advertisement designer, and I designed lots of billboards, posters, and things that have direct message that you can get the message in less than 5 seconds or so. But I want to find a way that is against that, because I'm kind of tired of that style. But it takes time. I need to be patient, and I work, and I just show my works to the others and make sure if they uh, find the words, and if they can read it or not. And no, it's not easy. Mostly, it's good that I really didn't expect you that you can read it. It's good that you found what I wrote there.
But
It's
I think there's
interesting.
something interesting how. Oh, sorry if I'm looking down. It's just I need to make sure my laptop stays attached to the power, otherwise we'll have a shorter stream. Um, there's something for sure to enjoy within that 5 seconds. Just the colors and the initial things going on, and then you start thinking, I mean, when I look at this piece, it almost feels like there's something slightly sinister here, with um, but maybe that's just the red lines remind me a little bit of dripping blood, and the long, elongated lines. It almost
Mhm.
reminds me of anguish in a sense. I don't know if that's, but and like the London Bangkok bit, it's like this chasm, this miasma that we're being pulled into, and there is a lot of detail to explore, but you don't have to. You can just take a cursory look at it. and see what's going
Yes.
on.
And I normally start with some automatic lines, and after that, I see something and among those lines, and I work on textures. I want to keep these two things, textures and words. And I don't really expect everyone to get what I presented there because lots of them are very personal, very personal.
Mm,
On this one, it's not very personal, but uh, I have my drawing book here. I'm not sure if I can show it or not, but no, lots of them have very personal stories, and like this one. This one is a house from my childhood. You can see a map of a unit here.
mm,
Yes. And here, how can I've written here crowd.
okay.
Yes. But I'm lazy to publish them on social media, especially these days. Actually, I'm not in the mood to do this. Just draw and leave it there.
I mean, not. Do you know, like Calvin and Hobbes? I know that Bill Watterson spent so much time making Calvin and Hobbes stuff, and whilst Bill Watterson never did any merchandising, so it's not like you could ever buy an official T-shirt or a plushie or something like that. The only thing you can buy are the books, but they sold well enough that I guess Bill Watterson, might not be a millionaire, but made a fairly nice income. But at some point, they retired. They said, "This is the end of the comic. This is all the stories that it has to tell. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to do painting." And no one has really ever seen the paintings that Bill Watterson does because he said, "Yeah, I spent so long doing stuff for other people. Now I want to do stuff for myself." And there is something wonderful about saying, "Hey, this is for myself." And maybe even doing something in sand. And people talk about latte art being this wonderful, transient thing, but in reality, in this day and age of mobile phones and social media, there's an expectation that at least someone will take a picture of their coffee and put it on social media. That's not
Hmm.
temporary at all. But then, if you do actually lean into that, just drawing on the sand or painting on something and then painting over the same thing, or even setting up it on fire without any records, there is something really interesting about that personal process of saying this is just for me and it doesn't have to be for anyone else.
Yes, that's right. And I actually understand that feeling kind of because now I really want to work for myself, only for myself. And sometimes I stop posting on Instagram. I mostly post on Instagram and Facebook, and just stop posting there because I don't want to care about the reactions. Um, and just want to focus on what I think is good.
Mm-mm.
Um, no, I don't earn money from arts now. My job is something else. So it's good that to discover what I think is good, but and find my way.
And honest, like I like, occasionally seeing something pop up here where it's like, oh, that's what Faranak has been working on, and that's something now we can see new pictures, and sometimes it makes me smile, sometimes it's just like, oh, that's a thing. But it's there I think there's definitely an abyss to be fallen to as soon as you start sharing your stuff with other people, and I don't want to overstate this. You can fall into the trap of having to get the one more like and move away from the voice that was uniquely yours, because now you're tempering it. Now you're filtering yourself through what you think other people would want, almost censoring yourself before you've even started. But
Yeah, that's right.
let's talk about something else, and let me ask you, what do you think is something that people should appreciate more? Brilliant thing, what's a little thing which is brilliant?
In total,
I mean,
in the
if you don't
world.
have a strong idea, I mean, you can bring your own thing, but I would like to say curtains. Because, I mean, just before the show started, like you were completely backlit and it was so dark I couldn't see your face properly. But now with the
Uh-huh.
curtains drawn, it changes the lighting, it changes the mood. And um, I think, yeah, curtains, just the utility of that. Not some people, you want it to be dark when you wake up so that you don't wake up earlier than you want. And it allows us to control the medium in a very easy way. Would you agree that
Yes,
curtains are a brilliant thing?
yes, they are actually they are useful, very useful. But no, I really don't use them. It was uh, maybe the only time since we moved to our place that I do this curtain. In our bedroom, we do it every night, but in our living room, no, my desk is in the living room. And in Bangkok, condos, high-rise buildings are really common, and we live in one of those. And we have a nice view to the city. I really don't like to draw curtains and like that
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
nice view.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I don't know if I can say I've got a. Yeah, it is like I get to see if I look at the right angle, I can sort of see, you know, some on. Today is a sunny day. I mean, yesterday was totally grey, so I can see, yeah, a little patch of bluish. I'm not going to say it's blue, but it's bluish. And so just being able to see that, and you lose that. I mean, an open window can remind you that there's a world outside, and I think there's something wonderful about that. But at the same time, there is something also nice about just having them there just for when they're needed, and they don't take too much space. They're not too difficult.
Yes, and I'm not sure if outside is sunny as I do curtain because it's getting dark little by little.
Mm-mm.
Tell me, yes, now it's a still day. And yeah, here it gets dark soon around 6ish, and it we can see the sunset the sun that goes down quickly. It's very nice actually. It's very different to uh, the other places, but sometimes right now, especially right now, I really miss cold weather when I see you in
Really?
sweaters. Yes, no, always here is always not very hot, but it's always warm.
Like I
And
looked at the temperature, I think it was like 26 degrees, which is, a nice mild temperature where I think I would still be wearing maybe 2 layers, although I wouldn't necessarily be going out with jumper and jacket, for sure.
uh,
But
but here people do in shopping malls. When you go to shopping malls, you really freeze.
because they have
It's
go overboard
too.
with the air conditioning.
Yeah, that's right. Indoors, you need really something to wear.
And yeah, it's interesting that you say that you kind of miss the cold because you're from Iran and have you spent a lot of time in other countries?
The only country that I've lived is here in Iran, but I traveled to some other countries. I've been to Turkey, Georgia, Malaysia, Cambodia, and some just this, I think. Yes, I traveled to these countries.
So you've not really been to the colder climates so much.
In Iran
I,
was cold, really. Yes.
I guess yeah, if you're going up in the mountains, yeah,
Not everywhere in Tehran. In Tehran, we have completely 4 seasons. Yeah, winters is so cold. We have the snow. Sometimes we have around 1 meter of snow in winters. But summers are so hot. Sometimes it gets to 50 degrees.
I have to admit, just because, so even though my parents are from Iran, as a child, I used to go to Tehran, sometimes Kerman, and other cities, but it would always be in the summer holidays. And I just had a look, and it's 6 degrees. So my memory of Iran is that it's like maybe 42 degrees and
Yeah.
something like that. Hello, Xate. Lovely to see you. And I, I have
Yeah, it's
it
the
just
reason.
shows how little I know, but that's really fascinating. Let's move on to the questionably quick questions. Is the next section? It's not an interrogation. It's just a questionably quick question section. So if anyone has any questionably quick questions, then please get them in. Otherwise, I will start off with a few questions. So Faranak, books or podcasts?
These days, podcasts, but I'd rather reading books. Yeah, but
And
these days, it's a quicker way to get information.
yeah, I totally understand. I mean, I'm the same. You can listen when you're doing other things, which is quite nice. And what is the last one you listened to?
Um, I listen to podcasts about psychology these days, and especially today, I listened to the last episode. It's nice. They speak about different feeling that people have, and sometimes you think that you're the only one that have, for example, a feeling, and when
Mm-mm-mm.
you hear that it really exists and the others experience it, it's good. I like that one. And there's another one. It's called Think Fast, Speak Smart. Think Fast, Speak Smart from Stanford
Sorry,
University.
what? Fast? Stay fast, speak smart.
Think, think
Think
fast,
fast.
yes, speak smart. It's
Okay.
from Stanford University, and I like that one. It gives nice tips for, especially for public speaking. No, I'm not good in public speaking, but I like to improve myself. And you know, at school we have some chances to speak for audience more than 200, 300 people, and no, I always go there, and
Hmm.
not always, just sometimes I like to be there, and um, I
So,
get nervous, but it's okay. I like to just practice.
so is that something you'd recommend to anyone who might do some public speaking, whether in person or online like that? Would you recommend it to me and everyone watching?
Yeah, there are something that from that show, from that podcast I have in my mind. One of them was for speaking simply. You know, uh, the guy said when you speak for international audience, it's good to speak simply, and even this problem happens for especially native English speakers because they really don't know which words are difficult for the others, and they think they get the result that the audience didn't get as much as they expected.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
communication is always not just about, is kind of about mindfulness of who your audience is. Um, Xate says, I like the Mayim Bialek Breakdown podcast. She interviews people about psychological issues in their daily lives, mostly actors I haven't heard of. But that sounds really interesting, and that sounds like it would be up your
Yes.
street, Faradak.
Yeah, exactly. I will take a note and
Oh,
listen it.
yes, I know that show. She plays Amy on Big Bang Theory. So that's the in the show she's the one who sells pharmaceutical stuff and has blonde hair and the glasses. Yes. No. Is that Amy or am I thinking of someone else? And has a slightly high pitched voice. Um, but anyway, she's a psychologist on the show and in real life, says Xate.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm describing Penny. Who's Amy then? I can't remember who Amy is.
No, I've just watched the first episode, the first
Um,
two or
but
three
she's
episodes.
one of the people I will actually maybe look up. Amy Big Bang Theory. Big Bang. Oh, yes, Amy was the one who was dating Sheldon. And
I think Michelle.
let me find a picture that I can share if I. Yeah, I'm not going to try and hunt down something that I will share. But anyway, yeah, also had glasses, but with brown hair. Anyway, so next question. So you said that a couple of days ago you had a game evening, you had some people coming over, you played Ticket to Ride.
Yeah.
Was that the only game? Did you play anything else?
Uh, I have a colleague in our new school. He uh, plays games a lot with the students, and he has two big shelves full of games. And normally at school, I'm busy. We can't play, but sometimes we play together. Actually, I forgot that one. I only remember the games that we played at home or in board game cafes, but sometimes we play together. I think it was about 2 weeks ago we played Sheriff. You know Sheriff?
Oh, Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yes, Sheriff. And he normally buys games that can play with the students, simple games. But he said that in the game, the students, the players need to bluff. And the students take it as lying and they don't want to lie. Yes, exercise time. And they don't want to lie. And no, the game doesn't go well because they just say
Because
whatever
Bangkok
that they are
just
doing.
don't
Yes,
like lying for whatever reason. So it becomes very boring, I guess. I mean, I would be curious about how many times do they need to play it until one of them actually starts lying and then everyone starts calling them out and then it actually becomes interesting. Because for sure, if you're not willing to engage with the bluffing, then there's no point in playing the bluffing game.
exactly. But they are very honest in that game. But they like Catan and they like different types of chesses. They play that one. And it's good to know that the teacher is their English teacher, the guy from England. And imported lots of games, lots of heavy games from England, and buys original games here. Here finding copies, it's easy actually. It's easier than original copies.
Mm.
But no, he buys only original copies. It's good. No, I enjoy playing with him.
I would, yeah, I'd be curious to know how much more expensive are the original or proper games in Thailand compared to here. I mean, to be fair, maybe it's best to just go onto the website because a lot of stores in Thailand have websites and you could do a price comparison. But do you find that what how would you describe the games culture in your neighborhood in Bangkok, in your social circles?
No, there are lots of board game cafes, and they are always packed people. Uh, and they charge people, they charge players with a small amount, like a pound for an hour. for each player. So it makes sense to go there and spend your night. We used to go a lot. We used to go to a place that it wasn't a proper cafe. It was mostly a supplier, a board game supplier in Thailand. And the owner was a nice guy and
Was
played with
this
us.
Nevea?
And now it's Board Game Academy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very nice place, and the owner speaks English well. And when we go there, he comes and plays with us because the other Thai people normally want to speak in Thai. They don't want to speak in English. They don't want to get bothered. So only one time, the others wanted to play with me, but after that, I felt that they aren't comfortable, kind of.
Mm-mm. That's interesting because Bangkok does have an image. Of course, there's a lot of tourism in Thailand and largely in Bangkok, and I guess even more so in Koh San Road, which is the tourist capital of Bangkok, which is the tourist capital of Thailand, which is a tourist destination in general. But so I would
Yes,
have
that's right.
thought that in a board game cafe there would be plenty where people are speaking English, but it sounds like actually most people going to play board games want to do it in their own native language, and it's a lot of locals, and they don't want to be bothered by trying to speak a foreign language.
Yes, most of them don't like it. But there are some people that uh, are okay with this thing. And there are some communities, if you book in advance, you can just sit with some people to go there. But for me, I normally decide suddenly and I say, hey, let's go to the cafe and play there and find someone there. Once we went to that cafe and a board game designer was sitting there, he spoke English very well and explained his game to us, and we played his game. It was an awesome game. I really liked it. Uh, I think he's publishing his game now. It was a very good game. Used what is called um, the the science of the stars, and uh, I can't remember.
You can't, it's okay. Um,
Yeah.
but it sounds like there was a lot going on and a lot of interesting decisions to make. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
So let me ask you, what is your first memory? Like going back, what's the first memory that you're willing to share?
First memory. Actually, uh, I want to speak about Thailand and one interesting place, one interesting city that I went to during last month. It's awesome.
Okay.
Actually, it's outstanding in my whole life. I've been to a very democratic place in north of Thailand. Now, have you ever heard about Chiang Mai?
Um,
Chiang Mai.
I am not familiar with it.
Yeah, Chiang Mai is very famous. Tourists normally travel there. It's in north of Thailand, and there is another city uh, near Chiang Mai called Pai. Oh, that place was awesome. It was really peaceful, and uh, most people there were tourists or like people who just stay for 1 month or 2 months there. And uh, you know, whenever that I remember, then I feel peace in myself. Really, I remind those days, and I'm really happy that I traveled there. I want to live there if I have chance. I want to live there at least for a couple of months.
Wow. So you really love nature.
Very, yeah.
And what would you say are some of your main passions? If someone said, hey, you've got 5 days you don't need to work. You can do whatever you want for these 5 days. Like let's say it's a short holiday, 10 days, whatever.
I get my backpack and just go for a walk in nature. People don't walk with me here because I walk a lot, and whenever I ask, whenever I go out with the others, they say I wouldn't come with you for walk anymore because I walk for more than 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers, and I don't get tired. And here is too hot. Actually, it's a lot. Uh, and they said, no, I won't come out with you anymore. You walk a lot.
So
But
you're
I
just
like
kind of
walking.
walking from, okay, I've had breakfast, now I'm going to go out for a walk. Okay, we'll stop for lunch and then we'll keep walking until it gets dark. Is that your kind of
Actually,
approach?
I think I can't work for that long for the whole day, but half day or more than half day is okay. And I I always have my drawing book and my tablet that I can draw with myself. Sometimes I just sit somewhere in a cafe or by the river because a river goes through the city here, and you can find some places to sit by the river and just draw, enjoy, listen to music. Just in 5 days, I would do that.
That sounds lovely. And so, would do you have your headphones on, or are you someone who enjoys the natural sounds around them?
Mm, pardon?
So, would you listen to music with headphones on as you're walking, or would you prefer to listen to the sounds of nature?
It depends. Sometimes that it's too noisy. Even listening to music is difficult here. In
Hmm.
Bangkok is really noisy, and even with good headphones, you can't listen to music well. But I enjoy listening to music. Yes, sometimes walking and drawing with music is good.
And what are your favorite bands? What's the last couple of albums or songs you listened to?
Yeah, I normally listen to a band for a long time and uh, until I get really tired of them. Do you know Archive? English band.
You mean
Archive.
Ar? I'm not sure I do. Archive?
Yes, that's right. It's
Oh,
awesome. I
n-
love their music.
okay, I don't know them at all. I'll have to listen to them afterwards, maybe.
Lots of my drawings are based on their musics, and I drew them while I was listening to them. Like Bullet, you remember Bullet?
And
It's
Archive,
their
I'm just
song.
looking up, they have an album from 2009 called Controlling Crowds. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yes, that album is nice. I like that album.
Okay, and we're starting to get to the end. I mean, it's been a nice chat. I mean, I think this is our first
Yes.
time actually talking, even, face to face digitally, even though we have talked a wee bit on Facebook. And the last thing I would like to ask you is today, yeah, selfishly coming over to Bangkok as a designer, hoping to play test, with people maybe in board game cafes or whatever. But I don't really speak Thai, and if I ever learn Thai well enough to be able to teach board games in Thai, that would probably take me at least a year, I imagine. But in the interim, what suggestions would you have for me to, um, you know, making friends and getting people to play test games?
Knowing Thai is awesome. I wish I knew Thai, but it's difficult for me. But no, it's not very necessary to know Thai. Uh, I thought board games for international students to international students in an institute. And working with kids, especially for working with kids, you don't need Thai language at all, because all of them go to bilingual schools, international schools, and the students from international schools, they all speak English, even with their friends. So you don't need Thai language, don't worry about it, because to me it's very difficult. This language is difficult. But I think board game cafes are good places for finding someone to play test and even teaching them. The cafe that I told you, Board Game Academy, that
Hmm.
one is the best place that I found here. Mm,
Okay, I'll definitely check that one out. Thank you very
yes,
much for the tip.
no
And
worries. Yeah, because the owner is designer himself, so it's a great help.
oh, does has the owner made any published games that I'm looking?
Yes, I think so. Yes, yeah.
Do you know
He
the name
showed
of?
us.
Part?
Mm, I can't remember actually. I'm really bad in, but it's not a popular one. It's not very
But
popular.
I would
But
have been able to look it up on the internet and see who it is. But no, I'll try and look that up and get in touch. But anyway, it's been a lovely chat. Thank you for chatting and answering questions. And at this point,
yes.
it's your turn to ask me, and potentially anyone watching, the question of the day. Question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. So, Faranak, what would you like to ask us and me?
Okay. Before asking the question, I want to ask. Before asking my question, I want to ask: have you been to Thailand before or not?
Oh, I went for a few months in 2005, so a
Uh-huh.
long time ago.
Yeah. So probably it has been changed a lot. Okay. If you want to choose a place to stay and oh, again my question is getting complicated. If you wanna stay in a place and you find no English speaking person, how would you communicate with them?
Hmm. I guess I would do it through the art of mime and charades because you can always use body language and numbers, one, two, three, and like pointing, and if you want something, point. And then with the currency, it normally has numerals that you can sort of learn. Okay, this is what the coins mean, and I would do that, and maybe also if I am able to get a phone that has a connection to the internet using Google Translate or something like that on the phone.
It's what we do here. Exactly, yes. Google Translate. Yes, but for miming, when I went to Georgia, I used miming, and because back then we didn't have internet on mobile phones easily, so the only thing that we had was miming, and they could get it quickly. But here,
Mhm.
uh, the problem that we have, even if I know a few words in Thai, but even if I say those words, they don't understand what I say. Maybe they don't expect me to say a word among
Or
English
maybe
words.
you're not saying it with the correct pitch.
That's right. Yes, it's another thing.
Well, over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. What are you up to today? I'd like to know what everyone's up to. I myself am going to have a quick shower, get myself ready, and skedaddle. Head off via the bank, sort out a payment for UK Games Expo, but then go and visit some friends. Today, I'm going to allow myself to just spend a day there, and I'm looking forward to it. Just taking a day to spend time with friends. How about
Okay,
yourself?
that's awesome. I have actually in less than 1 hour, I have a meeting with someone in Iran, and it will be 1 hour meeting. And after that, I think it's our night. Just getting ready for uh,
And then going back to
for the
work
next
on
day.
Wednesday
Yeah,
morning.
that's right. Yes, it's good because yesterday was holiday. I'm fresh now.
Mm-mm. And yeah, if you want to check me out, before we get into that, let me recap and wrap up before we finish up. So to recap and wrap up, um, and if anyone else wants to share anything of what they're up to, then I promise that I care. And we talked about Ticket to Ride and bilingual schools, which is a really interesting idea. I hadn't realized that this is something that exists. And we talked about the textures and words in artwork. We talked about immediate communication and Bill Watterson, the idea of doing something for yourself. We talked about the nature of Instagram and how that can seep into chasing all those likes, about the brilliance of curtains, craving the cold, enjoying psychology, think fast, speak smart, Board Game Academy, Chiang Mai being an active walker, enjoying drawing in a cafe or by the river, and the nature of board game cafes. And I would love if it's easy for you to find out. And next time you go, maybe you can pass on the contact details or for the owner of Board Gaming Academy, so I could maybe chat to them one day if they're up for it. But
Yes,
it has been a lovely chat. I've
yes, it
been
was a
Bez.
lovely chat.
I think Kopkunka is thank you.
Yeah, it's good. Do you know that females say kapunka and males
Yes.
say kapunkap? Yes, they say. Yes.
So
So,
if people want to check me out, then you Stuff by Bears everywhere, stuffbybez.com/streams. Tomorrow I'm not having Jess Mederingham on for she isn't able to make it. I will have a quick chat about something that I will decide tomorrow morning. Thursday I'm having Simon Lavender on, and Friday will be a quick show, and Saturday I'm having Michael Botterill on to talk about demoing games at conventions. And if people want to find you, is there anywhere on the internet that you can be found, Faranak?
I think the best way is my Instagram. That is in my name, farah.n.a.k. Yes.
There we go. And yeah, check that out. And I want to say thank you very much, everyone, for being here, for the lovely greetings and hellos and questions, and for the podcast suggestion. Share, spread the word. And there's not really anything left to say other than bye, 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 bye.
Thank
This is a
you.
goodbye
Bye
song. Do, do,
bye.
do, bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye.
Bye
This is a goodbye
bye.
song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye.
Bye bye.